Yeah. 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 So many lies that you hear from the net, they don't get her respect. She reporting the truth, not a check. You want an unbiased opinion straight from the chest, not a bit accomplice or someone here for a check. Tune in, these are thoughts from a lawyer on a mission who goes so hard it's like she works on commission. Trolls in the comments might say she tripping cause they lack the knowledge, they don't know they missing. Got a couple current events that you like, wanna know about law from the eyes. Tired of all these blogs running lies because their agendas are disguised. Tune in to the intellect, cause I'm sure y'all missing all the facts of the case that she steady is gifting. Someone here for the people, man, it's so uplifting. If you ain't subscribed yet, then you just omitting facts.
Hello, everyone. My name is Pam Esquire, also known as Your Law Intellect. Thank you so much for joining us on tonight. It's another day and another alleged scam. Yes, we are talking about the arrest and charges of Cesar Pina, who is the business partner, was the business partner, whoever he is, of DJ Envy, who is the host of the Breakfast Club. This stuff is outrageous. But you know what we're going to do over here? We are going to go to the authority and we are going to pull up the actual criminal complaint that was filed in New Jersey District Federal Court, of which we will also go over a few of the allegations. He is currently charged with one count of wire fraud, which carries, I think, up to 20 years in prison. But we are just going to talk about how we got to this part. So just make sure you guys hit that like button on your way in. Share it, share it, share it. We are here on YouTube, and we're on Twitter. I'm barely on Twitter, so I figured I'd go ahead and stream over there as well. And make sure you subscribe over here if you haven't done so already. It is already 200 of you guys in here after 2 minutes. That's pretty good. You guys keep on liking the video so that we can get in this good algorithm. So, on today, it was surfacing that Cesar had been arrested. So, I had to stop what I was doing and look and see what was going on. Many people have asked me to cover this case, but because it was so far into it, there were several civil lawsuits that were filed against Cesar Pina and also DJ Envy because of an alleged real estate Ponzi scheme. Now, Tony the Closer, who is also a real estate expert, go check him out on Instagram if you don't know who I'm talking about. He also has a lot of videos. He has had his foot on DJ Envy and Cesar Pina's neck for the last, I don't know how many months. But today, I guess his efforts have come full circle because it looks like not only are there several civil lawsuits that have been filed, there has also been a criminal complaint. So the first thing I want to do, guys, is I want to go over what the district attorney had to say about this arrest, and so we can get a summary before we get into this complaint. Because some of you guys may be like me. I saw little videos from different people, but I haven't really followed this. And like I said, I felt like civil lawsuits are very lengthy. So I felt like it would be a lot going over 14, 15 civil lawsuits. Like, how am I going to pick which one is important to go over? So I kind of left it alone. But then once the criminal case came down, I said, okay, we could probably work with this. So you guys, as you pile in, please make sure you like this video. Again, subscribe if you have not done so already. And let's get into it, man. We don't gotta waste any time over here. So I don't know what all this stuff is down here. Wait a minute. So let's see what the DA had to say. with the AUSA over there at the District of New Jersey. So this was released today, October 18th of 2023. And it says a New Jersey real estate investor and influencer was arrested today for committing a multi-million-dollar Ponzi-like investment fraud scheme, the U.S. Attorney Philip Sullinger announced. Again, he is innocent until proven guilty. I'm sure they put that at the bottom of this, but I just want to make sure I put that disclaimer up there. Cesar Pina, 45, of Franklin Lakes, New Jersey, is charged by complaint. So it was charged by a criminal complaint, not a grand jury indictment, with one count of wire fraud. He appeared before U.S. Magistrate Judge Edward S. Keel in Newark Federal Court and was released on a $1 million secured bond with electronic monitoring. So he has a tether, even though where does $1 million come from? We want to know, because there's some of these alleged victims want to know how you got this $1 million to even get out. But I digress. This is what the U.S. attorney said. Plain and simple. The defendant ran a fraudulent scheme. They falsely represented the nature of their business and lied about potential investment returns to bilk unsuspected victims out of millions, end quote. And that is from Tammy Tomlins, special agent in charge of IRS criminal investigation in the Newark field office, who said today's arrest highlights IRS criminal investigation and our law enforcement partners' commitment to investigate and prosecute unlawful behavior, end quote. Quote, we allege that Pina offered a ridiculously high rate of return to investors, then took the millions he got and invested it in himself. FBI Newark Special Agent in Charge James E. Denny said, quote, history has proven time and time again, Ponzi schemes don't work. The pot of gold at the end of the rainbow eventually runs out. Investors take note. It's your money. Don't let them steal. According to documents filed in this case and statements made in court, Pina partnered with a celebrity disc jockey and radio personality to conduct real estate seminars around the country. And we know who they are talking about when they say that. They are talking about none other than DJ Envy. That's who they're talking about, him right there on the right, who was on the Breakfast Club with Charlemagne the God. Angela Yee got up out of Dodge. She has her own spot in her own show. Okay. Through these seminars, self-promotional efforts, and other marketing strategies, Pina developed a significant social media following. So what they're saying is these seminars that he was able to partner with DJ Envy, they gave him greater influence, greater visualization, greater platforms, and it gave him this great following, okay, that he did not have before, obviously, before he met DJ Envy, according to this. In fact, I remember when Cesar first came on the Breakfast Club, and it was kind of presented like he was more like us, like we getting a homeboy, so we should trust him because he's a homeboy. But we're going to get into that because Caesar's past was something different, and he did say what it was on the Breakfast Club. Starting in 2017, Pina began accepting investments from victim investors for the alleged purchase, remodel, and sale of specific real estate projects in New Jersey and other states. To induce his victims, Pina often promised 20 to 45% returns on investments within 5 months. That just sounds too good to be true. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. But instead of using victims' investments as promised, Pina engaged in a Ponzi-like scheme by commingling victim money, using new victim investments to pay off prior victims, and spending victim funds on personal expenditures. The investigation has revealed that he defrauded dozens of investors of millions of dollars. The charge of wire fraud carries a max penalty of 20 years in prison and a fine of $250,000, or twice the gross amount of any pecuniary gain that any person derived from the offense, or of any pecuniary loss sustained by any victim of the offense, whichever is greater. And they give all the people their credit. Then at the bottom, it has the charges and allegations contained in this complaint are merely accusation, and the defendant is presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty, which I told you guys they will probably put at the bottom of this. So that is a brief summary of what was going on. It was alleged that, so before I put the complaint up, I'm gonna go over the allegation in a minute. And it's only a few of the allegations that's on there. They acknowledge that they only did enough, I guess, to satisfy the criminal complaint. But if you peruse the video when he was on the Breakfast Club, he being Cesar, he went on there pretty much bragging about his criminal history. I thought it was quite odd. He had a past, if you looked him up in New Jersey federal court. I think he had credit card fraud in the past. Now, again, I believe in grace and mercy. I don't believe just because you had credit card fraud when you was 20, you'll be a credit card fraudulent person in their 50s. But I am going to look at you a little funny because I'm just going to double check. I'm going to be a little extra cautious, but I do believe that, I do believe in grace. So that's not what I'm saying. But then he goes on to say he learned how to do real estate investments because there was a real estate developer that was in prison with him. So he learned how to do all of this from a man he met in prison, allegedly. So I just want to know if any of you guys were shocked that this turned out to be some type of a scheme. He kind of put it out there, but it gave a vibe of, oh, he's like me and you. He's reachable, he's touchable, and he can turn his life around. So now that means that we can do the exact same thing. It also shows the importance of DJ Envy's influence on people trusting him, because if DJ Envy trusts him, why the heck wouldn't I trust him? And I believe a lot of those civil complaints mention that the reason why they gave him the time of day was because DJ Envy promoted him. So, and I kind of had an indication that some criminal complaint was coming down when I seen DJ Envy a week or two ago decide to almost separate himself and denounce himself from this situation after he's been quiet all of this time. So I figured, I said, listen, I don't know this man, but to me, it just appears that something has happened, and he might at this point be singing like a bird or something. That's just what I got from it. I was like, he must be talking to the feds or something, because you were sticking up for him before. Now all of a sudden you not sticking up for him at all. Now all of a sudden it's, I got too. I'm a victim just like you are. So let's pull up this complaint. And I have a few clips. I'm gonna use a clip from Tony the Closer as well. So if my mods, Cupcake, if you could like put his at him and put his information in there in the comment section so people find out where he is, because I have to give him, his props for the work that he has done on this situation. So this is the actual criminal complaint as you see up here. And this is what has kind of been floating around that I saw, was just this front cover of this criminal complaint. But if you go on further down, and this was signed on October 16th of 2023, so that was 2 days ago, of which this was signed, but he was actually arrested today, and I guess he's out on $1 million bond and tether. So it has count one Jesus help me. Count one wire fraud, and it's from in or around 2017 through in or around May 2023 in Passaic and Bergen counties. And I apologize for all of you New Jersey folks. My husband is from New Jersey. So I'm just going to apologize right now when I mispronounce all of your counties and all of your cities and elsewhere the defendants. So it has Cesar Pina, aka Flipping NJ, knowingly and intentionally devised and intended to devise a scheme and artifice to defraud and to obtain money and property by means of materially false and fraudulent pretenses, representations, and promises, and for the purpose of executing and attempting to execute such schemes and artifice to defraud, did knowingly transmit and cause to be transmitted by means of wire communications in interstate and foreign commerce certain writings, signs, signals, pictures, and sounds, to wit, a wire transmission sent on or about September 13, 2022. I wonder who writes these statutes, because my goodness. And that's Title 18 of the United States Code, Section 1343, for all you intellects that want to go look it up. So let's look at Attachment B. I, Pankaj J. Sharma, am a special agent with the U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of New Jersey. I am fully familiar with the facts set forth herein based on my own investigation, my conversation with other law enforcement officers, and my review of reports, documents, and other items of evidence. Because this complaint is being submitted for limited purposes, I have not set forth each and every fact that I know concerning this investigation. Where statements of others are related herein, they are related in substance and part. Where I assert that an event took place on a particular day, I'm asserting that it took place on or about the date alleged. So he letting you know that it's more to this thing, but I'm just gonna do enough that we need to have so we can have this complaint so he can get arrested. Okay. So this isn't everything, which means it'll probably be more. As time goes on, we're gonna learn more about what the allegations are and who all are involved. The defendant, relevant entities, and overview of the scheme. At all times relevant to this complaint, defendant Caesar, aka Flippin' NJ, resided in New Jersey and held himself out to be a real estate investor, developer, and a quote flipper. Pina and his business partner, a well-known disc jockey and radio personality who is noted as Individual One, operated a company that conducted real estate seminars around the country. Now, I think it's interesting they called him Individual One and not Victim One, like he was trying to say he was a victim. But I digress. Together, they use Individual One celebrity to promote various real estate enterprises that Pina controlled. During real estate seminars, private one on one sessions, advertisement, public appearances, and otherwise, Pena represented that he was highly successful real estate. He was a highly successful real estate investor, owned thousands of properties in multiple states, and had business relationships with numerous celebrities. Through these efforts, Pena developed a significant following that included hundreds of thousands of social media followers. Now, what I also learned in my research was not at these real estate classes, DJ Envy did I don't know if it was an interview or he was just talking about it on the Breakfast Club, but he acknowledged that people were paying $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 to come to these seminars. Then on top of that amount that they were paying, they would pay to talk to Caesar one-on-one. So they'll say, "Oh, I'll pay you $2,500 if you let me have a personal conversation." So then you pay the $2,500 and they actually set up a booth there so you can pay the extra money and then you can have a one-on-one consult. And it's alleged that these one-on-one consults oftentimes were the people that ended up investing all this money into this alleged scheme. Just a little side note. So Pena owned and or controlled numerous business entities which held real property and or were used to open bank accounts that Pena used in furtherance of the charged offense. They included Warehouse LLC, a New Jersey limited liability company, and From Start to Flip LLC, aka From Start to Flip LLC, also a New Jersey limited liability company. Starting at least in or around 2017, Pena began accepting investments from individual investors, the victims, for the alleged purchase, remodel, and sale of specific real estate projects in New Jersey and other states. Pena generally entered into contracts with the victims that specified, among other things, the purpose of the investment, promised interest payments, and the time frame for repayment. But rather than using the victims' investments as promised, Pena engaged in a Ponzi-like scheme wherein he commingled victims' investors' money and used new victims' investments to pay off prior investors and cover personal expenditures. Through the scheme, Pena defrauded dozens of victims of millions of dollars. Examples of the manner and means of Pena's scheme are described below. So, this is an example of what is alleged Pena was doing in order to pull off this allegation of a Ponzi scheme. Manchester Avenue property. On or about April 4th, 2019, Pena used Warehouse to purchase a property located on Manchester Avenue in Patterson. Remember, Warehouse is the name of the LLC. From in or around, wait, for approximately $140,000. Let me read that over again so it'll be a little bit cleaner. On or about April 4th, 2019, Pena used Warehouse to purchase a property located on Manchester Avenue in Patterson, New Jersey for approximately $140,000. From in or around July 2019 through in or around April of 2023, so literally 5 months ago, Pena solicited and received investments from dozens of different victims for the purported purchase, renovation, and sale of property one. So from 19, 20, 21, and 22 and 23, it's being alleged that he would solicit all of these different victims to give money to purchase the same property or to renovate the same property. Pena typically concealed from the victims, among other things, that he had already solicited and received money from other unwitting victims to invest in property one. As a result, Pena collected more than approximately $5 million from victims as supposed investment capital just for property one. So this property that he purchased for $140,000, it's alleged that he was able to get $5 million in investments from people for this same property. So clearly it's overcapitalized. You ain't making a dime off of this property. As part of his fraud, Pena entered entered into contracts with each of the victims, and each contract contains similar material misrepresentations. There's a footnote. Let's go down. Many of these contracts contain typographical errors, which included listing the wrong address for property one. Okay. So many of the contracts must have had a different address because they're saying there were errors, but they must have investigated enough to know that this is the same property of this address we mentioned on Manchester Avenue. For example, one of the victims, victim one, signed a contract with Pena in or around October 2022, in which victim one's company agreed to make a capital contribution of approximately $200,000 to enter into a joint venture for the purchase, remodel, and sale of property one. The contract further stated that Pena would return victim one's capital contribution within 5 months, plus interest payment of approximately $60,000, amounting to an approximately 30% return on an investment. So apparently, he was able to convince someone that if they gave $200,000 as a capital investment, because you're in a joint venture, that within 5 months you'll get your $200,000 back plus $60,000 in interest. Pena fraudulently failed to disclose to victim one and other similar victims that Pena already owned property one, had mortgages or other loans on the property, and had obtained dozens of other individual investments for the same property. But see, this is why I was saying that DJ Envy, his influence is going to be significant, in my opinion, because just reading that, it doesn't sound plausible. But if you have someone that is basically giving testimonials, like, hey, I made all this money, I got all this money back off of this, you can too. And you're a trusted person. And it seems like, or in your mind, because we don't know any of these people, but you trust them because of their influence and who they are, and you feel like they wouldn't want to muddy up their reputation and it not be true, then I guess I can see if someone says it worked for me, that you kind of trust or admire, that maybe you would attempt to see if it'll work for you too. So I guess I could kind of see that. I always got to try to make sense of everything. This is what we do over here if you don't know. It's over 800 of you guys in here. Welcome. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. We will obviously be following this case as we do over here with all the other cases that we cover over here. Let's see. In or around December 2022, in reliance on Pena's false and fraudulent misrepresentations and omissions, victim one gave Pena approximately 200,000. In or around June and July of 2023, warehouse sold property one for 550,000. To date, victim one and other similar victims have received no money back from the property. So eventually he did sell, according to this, the property for 550K. But all of the people that invested, they didn't get any part of that 550K, because it did have some profit, because if he bought it for 140, he sold it for 550. But as you seen on here, it ain't really a profit, I guess, because you had $5 million worth of investors in it. So nobody was gonna make any money off of it anyway, but I guess except Cesar, allegedly. Let's go to the Park Avenue. So that is the Manchester property. Did I say that correctly? Let me see. Yeah. Okay, let's move on to the Park Avenue property. And again, these are just cursory properties. This is not according to the agent that attested to this and drafted this. This was just enough, but it's supposed to be a lot more. On or about November 14, 2018, Pena used warehouse to purchase a property located on Park Avenue in Patterson, New Jersey, for approximately $225,000. From in or around January 2021 through in or around March of 2023, again about 6 months ago, Pena solicited and received investments from more than a dozen victims for the purchase, renovation, and sale of property. Two, again, Pena concealed from the victims, among other things, that he solicited and received money from other unwitting victims to invest in property too, causing Pena to receive approximately $3 million from victims. So now he's gotten $3 million from these alleged victims on a property he bought for $225,000. Victim one was among those victims. So victim one got in the first property and this property. Victim one was among those victims and signed a contract with Pina concerning property two in or around December 2022. The contract provided that victim one's company would make a capital contribution of approximately $100,000 to enter into a joint venture for the purchase, remodel, and sale of property two. Pena further promised to reimburse victim one's capital contribution within 5 months. So he promised to reimburse the $100,000 within 5 months, plus approximately $35,000 in interest, amounting to approximately 35% in return on investment. Like with property one, Pena concealed that he already owned property two, had mortgages or other loans on the property, and had already obtained numerous other victims' investments for the same property. In or around December 2022, in reliance on Pena's false and fraudulent misrepresentation and omission, victim one provided Pena with an additional approximately $100,000 to invest in property two. Victim one and other similarly situated victims have not received any money from their investments in property two. We're going to get to the South Boyden property. Thank you so much for the super chat. I just have to take a little sip. I'm doing a lot of reading. How are people this foolish in this day and age? All involved here, greedy and allow dollar signs to override their common sense. And that is from Quita G. Quita G, thank you so much for the 1999 super chat. I appreciate you. Aaliyah said, literally kept giving him money. Literally kept giving him money. DJ Envy is next. Allegedly, that's Yarly Moist, but yeah, he has a, in my opinion, he has a reason to have some concern. You can try to separate yourself as much as you want to, but from the videos and stuff that I saw, he used the word we a lot. He said partner with us. He had from my understanding, he had office within the same building as him. Like, you guys are almost the appearance of that you guys are partners because you're in the same office space. It just, I don't see how he can really separate himself from this at this point. You guys help me out. I don't really see how he can really separate himself. So anyway, let's get to the South Boyden property. On or about December 9th, 2020, Pena used from start to flipping to purchase a property. So this is his second business entity called From Start to Flipping. And he bought a property located on South Boyden Parkway. And that was in Maplewood, New Jersey. And we'll call that property 3 for approximately $409,500. From in or around November 2020 through in or around April 2023, he solicited and received investments from more than 2 dozen victims for the purported purchase, renovation, and sale of property. So he got about 24 people to invest in this specific property, allegedly. Using the same MO discussed above, he collected more than approximately $5 million from these victims as supposed investment capital for property 3. For example, one of the victims, victim 2, entered into a contract with Pena concerning property 3 in or around September 2022. The contract provided that victim two's company would make a capital contribution of $250,000 to enter into a joint venture for the purchase, remodel, and sale of property 3. The contract further stated that victim 2 would receive back his or her capital contribution within 5 months, along with approximately $50,000 in interest payment for an approximately 20% return on investment. Pina fraudulently concealed his prior ownership of property 3, the other mortgages and or loans on the property, and the dozens of other victims who invested in the same property. Victim 2 has been paid only a small portion of his investment. So here's one of the victims got a little bit of money, and many of the other victims who invested in property 3 remain unpaid. Now we have the Franklin Avenue property. On or about March 3rd, 2017, he used Warehouse, which is the other company, to purchase a property located on Franklin Avenue in Hawthorne, New Jersey. For approximately $260,400. From in or around July 2020 through in or around May 2023, using the same MO discussed above, Pina solicited and received over approximately $4 million from victims and purported investment capital for property 4. Victim 2, for example, invested approximately $250,000 in property 4 based on Pina's false promises and material omissions, which were virtually identical to those pertaining to property 1, property 2, and property 3 discussed above. On or about September 13th of 2022, based on Pina's false and fraudulent misrepresentations and omissions, victim 2 sent approximately $500,000 via wire that traveled in interstate commerce to an account in the name of From Start to Flipping. Cesar's lucky ain't nobody whooped him up. He is lucky nobody has beat him up by now. $500,000. That's a lot of money. Victim 2 has been paid only a small portion of his or her investment, and other victims who invested in property 4 remain unpaid. So those are the various allegations of which this complaint is based against Cesar Pina. For those that just saw the top part, that was kind of going around earlier, this was the part where everybody saw was a criminal complaint. But I have just read to you the attachments that they talked about. See attachment A and B. We have went over those attachments. So if you guys just get in here, because it's over 1,000 of you in here, you might have to hit that replay so that you can hear all of the allegations as it pertains to Cesar Umbredo, I don't know how to say his middle name, Pina, who was the business partner, I guess it was now, if it wasn't before, with DJ Envy from the Breakfast Club. Now, what I want to play for you guys now is just one of the small videos that I saw that Tony the Closer did. And he actually talked to DJ Envy because I was curious on what DJ Envy had to say. And so I'm going to play this video.
Y'all is DJ Envy. Flippin' NJ. What up, y'all is DJ Envy. Flippin' NJ. What up, y'all is DJ Envy.
That doggone Tony the Closer was on his neck. The way he put this together just to let everybody know, oh, they were partners. You can't separate one without the other. It's just crazy.
What up, y'all is DJ Envy. Flippin' NJ. What up, y'all? It's DJ Envy.
Flipping that J.
What up, y'all? It's DJ Envy.
Flipping that J.
Hey, what up, y'all? It's DJ Envy.
Flipping that J.
What up, y'all? It's DJ Envy.
Flipping that J.
What up? It's DJ Envy.
Soon and coming out and saying some stuff. I got scammed from an investment that I made from one of your favorite, not you specifically, but just I got scammed from an investment that I made, 6-figure investment that I still don't have my money back. 6 figures.
Like 100,000 or 200,000.
Closer to 2.
Damn. Is he black, white, or Hispanic?
We'll leave that for
No, nigga. No, nigga.
Yeah, see?
Is he
I was
black?
like, I knew if I come on here, that somehow it was gonna come up.
Is he black? Is he white, or is he Hispanic?
He's a male.
Is he black? Is he white, or is he Hispanic?
Hispanic.
Let's get over here to when he's talking to DJ Envy, okay?
Oh.
You do your homework when it comes to anything. That's why I tell everybody all the time. You make sure you do your homework. I do feel like you're saying Cesar's guilty before hearing his side of the coin, which I think is kind of crazy. I mean, anybody can say anything they want, man. I done seen today that I owe people money. I done seen all types of shit. But the thing is, I think you should have that man on here to have a conversation and give his side of the story. There's 2 sides of the story. Well, there's actually 3 sides of the story, right? His side, and then what's the truth. And I think before somebody starts saying that somebody owes somebody money or somebody doing something wrong and making an accusation and an accusation, I think you need to have him on there and clear his own name up.
Well, I think that's fair, but I also
I tried to call you today with him on the phone, and you said you were clearly busy. So he's not.
But you know we talking about. Don't try to flip the narrative on me because that's bullshit. And then
did I not call you?
I'm gonna really swing it because like I've been being nice and I've been trying to.
You don't have to be nice. Did I not call you this morning? Tony, did I not call you? Said I call you 30 minutes.
But you know you bullshitting too, right?
I'm not bullshit.
Because the fact of the matter is that you know that Cesar been doing bad business, and you just right now really trying to distance yourself because you don't want to be implicated with it. You know that he's been fucking people over. He fucked you over. He owes you money. You told me last night he owes you money. Like, this ain't me making up shit. This ain't me just coming out and attacking anybody. This is real people. And it's like even like your man, the credit dude, that was a part of y'all whole situation, bro. He's out of 150,000. And nigga was out here talking about committing suicide. See, you can't play me like I'm the nigga that's just clout chasing or doing some bullshit. I'm really talking about people. Credit dude called me talking about he's in fear of his life. Like he's like, yo, I'm in fear of my life, and these niggas took my money. I got 7 or 8 DMs of people that's $400,000 or $500,000, bro. Last night on the phone, you told me, yo, this nigga owe me over $500,000. Don't do me now. You're gonna try to get online and make me look like shit because then I'm gonna come back with the.
And this is the thing. You could come back with whatever you want.
I'm gonna come back with the smoke.
I just got off the phone with credit dude. I just got off the phone with credit dude, and credit dude told me that you were making things up. I just got off the phone with credit dude, and you said it's making things up. I just got off the phone with him. So obviously, you are clout chasing because the main thing that you did was fucked up is you added my name.
You should do as far as like letting people know that you distance yourself though.
So this is what I just did. When I seen that message, when I seen the somebody tagged me on it, right?
Yeah.
This is exactly what the message I sent to Cesar. I said, you need to fix this ASAP. I said, I gave you a platform to talk real estate and to help people. I said, the amount of calls, and I said this to him and his wife, I said, the amount of calls I received that you owe people money is crazy. I said, to the fact that lawyers reached out to me and are going to the authorities. People are telling me checks are bouncing. They're saying you're not calling people back. I said, authorities called me, asked if I want to be involved with a lawsuit. And I said, there's nothing I can do because you still owe me money. I said, love y'all to death, but I'm not looking crazy. I didn't take not a person's money, nor have I been involved with y'all taking people's money. And I beg you, when we first started seminars, not to take anybody's money, a celebrity or nothing. I'm just telling you, if this is not fixed, this is going to be a huge problem, and I'm not being silent anymore. And I just said it like maybe 10 minutes ago. And like I said, I'm going to give them till I get back on Monday.
Ebony Queen said, listen, don't have $200K worth of trust in nobody. That's the word for the day. Shelby said Tony the closer was eating him up. he was on his neck. He really was, and he was not letting up. It didn't matter what was said. It didn't matter who was trying to dissuade him. He wanted to make sure that this information got out. He wanted to make sure that those alleged victims were made whole if they were victimized. So we have to shout out to Tony the Closer for that.
After the break, if all the niggas that say he owe money, he don't get that money back. Because even if he owes people money, niggas sell. You got properties. I can't even sit here and lie. You got properties. You got, like, it's not like he's saying, oh, it's not like no Jay Morrison shit where he ain't got no properties or whatever. He got land. Sell that land. Even if you gotta sell it for the low, get them niggas their money back.
Yeah,
I'm not doing it because you a nice guy that got a lot of followers. I would be a fucking asshole. I call my accountant and I'm like, hey, look at this deal. Does this deal make sense? No, it doesn't make sense. I'm not doing it.
So
that's how it is. That's what people
I like keeping it real, right? 100%. So how has your business dealings been with Cesar?
Some have been great, some haven't been. Some have been really good and I made a lot of money, and some have been slow. And that's why I say when people invest money, sometimes it goes like this, right? And you know this. I didn't hit with Cesar a couple of times and flip money in less than 30 days. Some of my builders, like the school, we still got, and I haven't got my money back yet. But I know that's part of the game. But I also do know there's certain things that need to happen. Like,
you hear that? So DJ Envy acknowledged that allegedly he's invested his money with Cesar, and you got to turn around a flip in 30 days. Now we were just talking about 5 months, sound crazy, but it was 30 days. And then he's saying basically the only outstanding money he has, this is what he's saying, the only outstanding money that he has now is the $500,000 or whatever it is that he invested in some school apartment or something. But he's saying that's a part of the game. You're not going to always just get a fast investment. He's had that happen, or a fast profit off of an investment. So he's charging it to the game. Like, he doesn't feel like, according to this, he does not feel like he's been done wrong when he's doing this interview with Tony the Closer.
When it comes to Cesar, we've had a conversation, and I spoke to him, and I spoke to Jen, and I told him if he does, and I asked him personally, I said, do you owe people money?
Does he owe you money?
We have an investment together that we're going to sell. He does not owe me money. We partnered up on a property. We partnered up on a property, and he went half.
You hear that? He does not owe me money. We partnered up on an investment. So he's alleging in this interview that this man doesn't owe him any money.
Money, DJ Envy.
It's a school. Let me tell you.
You and I talked offline, DJ Envy.
No, I'm gonna tell you 100%. No, I'm gonna tell you.
You can't do that, DJ Envy.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. You gonna let me speak or we not?
No, but we gotta. If we're gonna tell the truth, we gotta tell the truth.
We gonna tell the truth.
Now.
We speaking the truth. Because I tell you everything. I talk to you offline.
That's what I'm saying.
I told you, me and Cesar, we bought a school. That's the only outstanding deal that we have. That school never came back, and that school is not done yet. When I spoke to Cesar today, I told him I have a problem, and he said, I'm giving you your money back. That's it. So we don't have any dealings with each other. And I even told you, because when we had that conversation, I called him last night. I'm like, do you owe anybody money? Cesar told me no. He said there was people that we invested with that did well, and there was people that we didn't invest with that it takes a little longer. And I told him, nigga, whatever you need to do, give them people back their money. That's all it is. But when it comes to it, that's what it is. And you find somebody else that will talk to you on live in a minute to talk to you about the real, because I honestly, we talked
offline though. That's why I asked you the question. And it's like, we personally offline. I mean, I know you might be wanting to still not really throw your man under, but like, we talked offline.
And we spoke online yesterday. That's why I was kind of upset when you put out a picture of me and Cesar and said DJ's every partner owes all this money. And I'm like, damn, my nigga, we spoke last night, and I'm telling you.
A few moments later.
Like, this is when I say nuts. So I'm like, what? And the thing with me is, I wish I could be like, well, that's on y'all. The nigga owe me money, and the nigga owe me half a ticket, not $50,000. He owe me $500,000, my nigga. So think about it like this: if he owes me $500,000, a nigga that could get on the radio tomorrow and shit on him, you think he give a fuck about whoever was on your live? You see what I'm saying?
This shit crazy.
Man, I'm.
You see how that flipped? Before it was, I made all my money back. The only money I haven't made back was this investment, and that's kind of par for the course, is what he was saying. But now, when all these lawsuits started coming down, it looked like he probably got contacted to be interviewed by the feds, and then all of a sudden, he owed me money. He took $500,000. He took $500,000 from me, DJ Envy. That's why when he came out on the Breakfast Club and basically did a whole turnaround, I'm like, didn't you just say that he doesn't owe you anything and you don't know what these people are talking about? And basically, we need to vet their credibility and also talk to Cesar and see who is three sides to the story. But now you're saying you're basically saying you knew that these people, by coming out and saying he owed me $500,000, you're basically admitting that you knew that you got, and that other people are probably being truthful when they allege that they got because you got. Either that's what it is, or somehow you benefited from working with them and you didn't get got. But either way, it just sounds messed up at this point. So that's why I say I don't see how he's going to totally be able to separate himself from this. And it's based off his own conversation. One thing that Charlemagne the God did say when they had the conversation and he was talking about the whole situation, he did say that you need to stop talking. And I say that over here all the time. Some of y'all need to stop talking. You think you so smart. You know exactly what's going on. You know, and it's not always the case. It's just not, because your words are going to come back to bite you. And then I know that he did I think he did a counter complaint on one of those civil lawsuits. Again, I haven't really read those lawsuits. That link is for Cupcake. But I haven't really read the lawsuits or whatever yet, but allegedly, and one of the ones that he got sued, he's trying to posture himself as he's the victim as well, and he's doing a counter complaint. So that may be why he ended up coming out trying to defend himself. Another issue I see, aside from DJ Envy, is that radio station. How are they going to distance themselves when this man's exposure started on their platform? Now, again, I guess they can say they didn't know what he was going to say. They don't have nothing to do the views and opinions. They give their disclaimer that the views and opinions of whoever, doesn't represent them. That's their views and opinions. But he was on there a few times promoting these seminars, promoting a lot of, and they gave him a platform for this whole audience. So I wonder if they will try to find some way to try to implicate the radio station as well. Now, I'm not saying anybody is going to be implicated and everybody's innocent till proven guilty, but it's looking a little shaky right now. Based on what we just read in this criminal complaint, it's looking real, real shaky. Who was collecting the money? Did Envy collect money? Great question. Envy was claiming that he's never gotten a dime. He said he's never gotten $1 from anybody, $10. He went through all these denominations of money, never got $1 million. I've never gotten anything. So he's alleging he didn't collect anything. But how do your influence doesn't really have an amount? How are you going to place a value on the influence? Nobody would have known this cat but for you. There were way too many people that said I was hesitant. I didn't believe it until basically DJ Envy co-signed. And if you watch any of these news interviews, because this hit the news in New Jersey, in New York area. So when those interviews were occurring, during those interviews, they were saying, I wasn't even going to invest. But then he decided, because DJ Envy was doing it, I decided, okay, it's cool to invest. Kathy said, what happened to the money? It sounds like, according to the criminal complaint, that Cesar started using it for his own expenditures. So he would take the money, because allegedly when he was bragging on the Breakfast Club that he had $50 million worth of real estate, his personal house allegedly was in foreclosure as he was doing that interview. So there were credit cards, complaints. There were complaints filed that he hadn't paid credit cards. There were various civil complaints filed trying to get their money from him. At the same time, he was bragging of owning $50 million worth of real estate. So it's alleged that some of this money he used it for his personal expenditures, his day-to-day living, cars, houses, whatever, for himself. So DJ Envy was doing promotion for free. That's what Kim Vaughn asked, and that's what Pam Esquire wants to know too. That's what Pam Esquire wants to know too. So that's what I want to know as well. Because I find that not plausible, and that's because it is alleged that when they had these real estate, DJ Envy again bragged in a video I saw, of which he was promoting it and said, we thought we would get 50 people, and the first one was 1,500, the second was 3,000, then it was 10,000, and he gives all these astronomical numbers. But he said there's a booth where he's there. They have pictures of him being at these seminars. If there's a booth and I say I want to go to DJ Envy and get one-on-one consultation, you think DJ Envy is going to tell me, hey, Pam, take your $2,500 and go give it to Cesar and his people? Or do you think he going to take the $2,500 and do the consultation? If I had to guess, I would think that's what he would do, is take the $2,500 and do the consultation. But Jessica Glenn said, we know he was. I'm saying what the man said. He said he was doing it for free. That's what he said, guys. He said that he was doing it for free. So Kim Vaughn believes that either DJ Envy was paid to help, or he helped recruit so he can make more money on it. El Cid said DJ Envy bragged often during interviews, didn't pay radio station each time he mentioned it. That's another thing. So with Cesar, I don't know how the radio game works like that anymore. So when he did the interviews, like, I don't know, did they have commercials that had to be paid for? Were there commercials, or was it free publicity that was given on the platform? You guys are going to make me really dig into this. Harold said, I can't imagine being inspired to give and invest with these type of characters. I can't. There was a pull up this. It was another video before we get off of here of it was the news that they started doing. Yeah, this NBC New York. Hold on. So we'll play that real quick. Do you think DJ Envy will be liable for anything? I think they'll try. If not, at least civilly, they'll try. They'll definitely try.
An I-Team exclusive update, radio personality DJ Envy responding to our investigation about investors who say that they were conned by his business partner.
Investigative reporter Sarah Wallace broke the story last night and joins us with the new details.
My attorneys don't want me to speak, but I think there's things that I need to clear up a little bit.
I think you should listen to your attorney.
Me
Up until
too.
today, DJ Envy has never publicly addressed the controversy surrounding his one-time business partner, Cesar Pina, on the celebrities syndicated show, The Breakfast Club. In fact, Envy has repeatedly promoted Pina's real estate seminars and investment opportunities.
What up, y'all? It's DJ Envy. Flippin' NJ.
Even as lawsuits began mounting by investors who claimed they were ripped off by Cesar for hundreds of thousands of dollars in a real estate venture involving distressed New Jersey properties, not a word from Envy on the air until the I-Team interviewed multiple alleged victims who say they bought in because of the reputation of the radio host.
DJ Envy absolutely is equally to blame.
Right. You don't think DJ Envy has talked already? You don't think he's already talked? I just want to know who thinks he talked already. If I had to guess, if I was a betting woman, I would say he probably has already spoken. If I were a betting woman, this is what I would think is what's happening. Okay.
He is on a major platform, which is not only in New York, but across the United States.
Envy on his show now denying any involvement in Cesar's real estate deals.
Now, Cesar, if he took money, I wasn't privy to it, nor did I even know. But for anybody to say I was involved, that's totally not true.
And he's trying to do damage control. It was DJ Envy who personally introduced me to Cesar.
Anthony Barone says he toured Paterson, New Jersey properties with Envy and Cesar, then invested $500,000 in a planned apartment project and another $300,000.
I invested in Flip to Down, which was an online platform for fractional shares in buildings. DJ Envy is listed as the co-founder. I'm down $800,000.
And you think he's responsible in some way?
I think he's absolutely responsible.
It's not true. Like, well, that's fake news. Like, those are fake stories.
What was your reaction to DJ Envy's response?
I was shocked, honestly, because I truly believe he knew Cesar was scamming people.
Michael Ventura says he invested $200,000, his life savings, in a Paterson property. As with virtually everyone we spoke with, he also heard that Envy pitch.
This is unfair. It's unfair. We're trying to chase the American dream, just working, provide the best for our family. And then that dream is being crushed.
Cesar declined to be interviewed on advice of his attorneys. His wife, Jennifer, promised they will make investors whole.
Where's all the money? Where did all the money go?
That's a Cesar answer for you right there. There's no private island. There's no house in the Dominican Republic. There's no yachts. There's no fancy cars. That's an answer for Cesar to give to you, not for me.
Envy's attorney is now seeking to have all of the...
Look at his wife. She's like, oh, it wasn't me. You have to go ask Cesar. I'm talking to you guys, but we don't have anything. We don't have anything. I don't have anything. We don't have a yacht. We don't have a car. Who takes all of this money? We have nothing. We don't have anything. You have to ask him where the money is. That sounds very familiar.
Lawsuits against him dismissed. iHeartMedia could be named in future lawsuits. Several investors telling us they believe the corporation could be held legally culpable for their star's endorsements, now under scrutiny. From Tribeca, Sarah Wallace, News 4 New York.
That's that. Can tell my daughter's stuff is coming up here. We have kitty stuff coming out here from YouTube. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We will be on this. Make sure you hit the like button. Subscribe if you have not done so already. Shout out to all of you guys that have been telling me I need to follow this case. It made me go ahead and get the information for you guys. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I hope you guys learned, as I have, looking at the criminal complaint and all of that. Again, everyone is innocent until proven guilty. We'll see how this thing unfolds. As you see in the complaint, they mentioned DJ Envy as, what did they say he was? He wasn't a victim. He was individual one. He was named as individual one. Is what they what they referred to him as in the criminal complaint. And shout out to all you guys over on Twitter watching as well. And until next time, guys, you guys make sure you have a good night. Take care. Again, like, sharing. Thank you, Hope, so much for the Cash App. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for the super chat. I appreciate it. We'll be back to do this all again. Until then, you guys keep on doing your legal research.